able to ship to the customer that were willing for them. That I have to say, who were buying masks from us and who still buying masks from us. Mainly the so-called essential services. That is not the hospital. Well, actually, we also serve the hospital, but not at the beginning. There was the company that cannot stop. You want to eat, somebody has to do something. Otherwise, we will not eat anymore. And the regulation said that you cannot, it's right, you cannot make stock of those goods. The goods must flow. So if I produce, there must be someone that has a need, and this need must be consistent with the company. So you have a company, you have 100 employees, they have to use 2 masks a day, so 200 masks. You want to have a stock for 1 month, that's doable. So 200 masks for 20 days, or you have three shifts, I don't know, 5,000 masks, okay. But you cannot order 50,000 masks, because if you order 50,000 masks, that's not legal. That means that they can be, the custom can take them out and pay you on a future day because there is a superior need in the country at the moment. So they take out of you and you don't get paid, and they take out for a good reason, but from a business point of view, that could make a big problem for you because you paid for the production. So we have this situation, despite all the paperwork correct at the beginning of April, because I believe there was such a big problem in the country that they just didn't care. I mean, they need it, so they took it, despite the law. And so that scared us a little bit, because we could have run out of our financial capacity. And so that slowed down the situation in the first 2 weeks of April. Then we started receiving regularly again. And so we started doing that again, even if the law is still changing so often.
Okay, it seems like it's a very dynamic situation that you're in. I mean, we're all in, but you are in this especially. I've got another question, which I think is relevant for this moment, if you don't mind. I have a question here that says, what was the most challenging moment of the last 3 months for you, and how did you overcome it? I presume you personally, Franco. So was there a particular moment where you said, oh my gosh, this is impossible? And if you did have that feeling, how did you overcome it?
There have been many. One is the one that I already told you, because the day I got this piece of paper that despite everything was correct, they take out the product, I was really frustrated, and I believe that was very wrong. I made a video, I published the video on Facebook. I had hundreds of shares of the video. The video went around, and I had incredible feedback about that. It was probably the toughest moment. Now I don't like the fact, this is frustrating me a lot, that there are so many illegal products around. This is frustrating because it's so well, I should make myself more clear. There is a need. So there are two parts of the story that are wrong. One is the people that make the regulation. They do not understand that if the regulation is too strict, there's no possible way to make it right. Okay, for the quantity that is needed. So we make it right, but our quantity is limited because it's not possible to make more. At the same time, there are all this flooding of bad stuff that goes to pharmacy, even goes to hospital. When I like now I have like the clinic eye. When I see a mask, even at the TV, I can say what kind of mask it is, what is done off. I can say everything. And so I keep seeing on on the news, when I see the news and the TV, there's a lot of bad things around, and all those bad things around also in the face of doctors. So that's not good.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Other questions here, which I think are relevant for this moment, is in this particular time, you know, with all of the stresses and so on, in terms of the team, so the people that you're working with, have there been any difficulties in managing your team? If they have, what was your way of dealing with it? What was the solution, your way of getting out of that?
Has been amazing. Amazing. Maybe because we are like in a mission. So when you are in a mission, everybody, the response is amazing. My staff replying me at midnight, because they knew that if we make it right for midnight, it means that we could get into production in China, because at that point was 7 a.m. in China. We don't lose a day. Or the other that were, yeah, that's been amazing, completely.
Okay, thank you for that. I have another question. At the moment, is the your production only for Italy? Because I have some questions. For example, Laura said, you were considering to export to other countries. In Mexico, the epidemic peak is going to the stars, and we need them bringing from China, and it's getting hard. So, I mean, I suppose that's also an additional regulation. So it's not only, could you give us some sort of idea of where we are?
Okay, so everybody needs them. And for example, the situation now compared to 3 weeks ago is completely different, because now the United States is in big trouble. They need the product. They even made a special law 2 days ago that they accept a specific regulation of China. That's a very bad law, but I believe that they made it because they do not understand it. So let me tell you one specific thing. So there is a paper going around from 3M that states that some masks are comparable to others. So those papers say good things. It's true what they say, but they don't tell the whole story. So based on those papers, many government made decision, and they made bad decision, I think. Because if you take the Chinese regulation and you deep down on that regulation, you understand that that regulation is completely different from the European regulation. European regulation needs that if this is a life-saving equipment, there must be a notified body, that is another company, that has the right to do so, that control your production and control your prototype, and can say that your production is the same as your prototype. The China's regulation is a self-declaration,
which opens things up to potential problems.
And 99% of the documents that I have seen, they are not okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So can we export to other country? Legal to do that. If we bring product to Italy, those kind of product, I tell you, we cannot make stock. We must have a purchase order from someone that has the right to make that. So you can imagine that that product cannot go out of Italy in any way. I would suggest them to, I have no idea. I mean, it's not easy.
I think this is a problem of the world hasn't come up with a joined up idea, and every country or every region seems to be thinking for itself here. I'm going to move on because I know time is always limited here. I've got a couple of other questions linked, I think, to well, your knowledge of China and the fact that you're dealing with China. So a couple of questions from Igor, and I think I'll just scroll back again from Matteo, who say you're probably communicating daily with the Chinese people. What's your feeling about their mood? Are they feeling safer? Do they feel like they're in a restart mood? What's the situation from what you understand there?
Yeah, very good question. Yes, they feel safe. Well, we know that there is a region of China that closed down again because they have found some new infection, but As a general rule, they feel safe. They are thankful to their government. They know that at the moment, the demand, because they produce for all the consumer stuff is produced in China. Now there is no demand because all the countries are, right, they produce for Europe and the United States, and Europe and the United States are closed, so nobody buy. But yes, they feel safe. They don't go, well, don't believe the news when they show you 1,000 people having fun. This is makeup. They behave very consciously. They wear masks every day. They keep doing all those kind of procedures to keep them safe. And you know, they have an app that they, every time they go somewhere, they need to be scanned. If they are green, they can go. If they are not green, they cannot enter. And the color can change if they meet someone that has the color that is another color. So they have in place a very compulsory system to prevent the virus to break out in the community again. So they feel safe, yes.
And in terms of, Igor also asks, in terms of purchasing and restart of the economy, is it still too early to say that that started in China, or are there signs of that?
So in China, production is ready. Almost all the people went back to work. I told you the story of Suzanne that came back from Wuhan 2 days ago and today was in the office. There is a weak demand, that's for sure.
Okay, okay. Now I'm going to take it a little bit further now and say, okay, at the moment we understand the situation, the fact that your company really has thrown itself in to help in this specific need, but eventually things are going to change, at least we hope. And as you said before, your core business is not masks and so on.
No.
So this takes me to a question that I received from Adrian in South Africa, because we do have global reach here as well on MIB Lens. And he said, okay, after the crisis, what opportunities are there for the company? In other words, how do you see the development of your company from mid-2020 onwards? I mean, what are you going to do with this? Is this going to be another one of your portfolio of products? I mean, where do you see yourself going?
This is very difficult. It's very difficult to predict. We didn't stop doing what we are doing. So don't think that we stopped doing the accessory for smartphone. We still do that. And we will continue to do that because it's our business. Mm-hmm. It could be that these things that we are doing in this wartime could lead to something, or for the moment, we continue because there is a need. We see that we can help, and so we go on. In 6 months, I have no idea. Well, I believe it's highly unlikely that the life will go back to normal in 6 months. Very, very high unlikely. I'm also quite afraid of the opening in Italy because it will be like the first country that decide to try to have a coexistence between work and the virus. That's not what is happening in China. They just shut the virus and started again. So well, for 6 months, in 6 months, probably we will be still doing both of them.
We might have to invite you back in 6 months then, Franco, to an idea there. I have another question here. In light of the pandemic, could you share your thoughts on where Chinese relations with Italy and the EU may be heading and why? So I think that's a bigger idea. So rather than simply linked, exactly. So it's a rather big picture idea, but your views, please.
Okay, well, I'm not really qualified to answer this question, but so let's put this answer in opinions. I think that China will come out even stronger. It's already very strong. It will come out even stronger because they add in. We can say that the way they manage the public thing is not the way we like, because we like democracy, and But for this specific case, if you have a leader that make it right, because it would be the complete opposite if you have a very powerful and charismatic leader to make it wrong. That would be a disaster. But if you have a leader very charismatic and powerful that make it right and can make a quick decision, that can make a big difference. And so there we have an advantage of that. And the United States will get kicked in the head as we have been. And yeah. So
Okay, Franco. Well, I'm going to take you from that rather pessimistic view of where things are going, at least from the Italian point of view, and turn towards something where I know you are an expert, your views on being an entrepreneur. So I have a question from Lucas. What suggestions would you give to a startup entrepreneur at the moment? That's an interesting one.
Well, now it's an amazing time for startups. It's amazing because it's like everything is new, and if you do something that is needed, you get immediate success. We have story on the news every day, like the company that make the plexiglass things that keep people apart, instant success. Or another company that I don't know, that makes an app for doing something like facilitating the communication between friends, instant success. Of course, we are a lot of people, billions of people, so everybody would like to make to hit the big one. But now there are a lot of opportunities.
I've heard, for example, Franco, that there are some problems. I was listening to a program recently about getting startup funding. So, for example, angel investors at the moment are sitting on their money. So it might be quite difficult in actually getting funds initially. Is that what you've heard, or you have other inside information?
I heard that, but we should never forget that only 10% of the startup get founded by those kind of stuff. Most of the startups, like the one I have done in all my life, except one, we were founded by our customers. That is, you have a product, you find some prospect, you say, I'm gonna reduce the price by 40% for you because you're gonna test it. Do you agree? If the product is something, they agree. And then you get the money, and it's the easy way.
So where there's a will, there's a way, basically, you're saying.
For sure.
Well, I'm going to finish off now. I've just got one more question. I've tried to also get all of the questions out from the chat box I got so far. I want to finish on a positive note. You're already there, but let's take it right to the end there. Entrepreneurs are renowned, famous for their creative ability to unlock opportunity from diversity, Franco. So what potential value, and I don't give away your secrets for your next venture, may come from the present situation?
Oh my God.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, take note, because Franco's a serial entrepreneur, and any suggestions might be worth noting down here. Do give a percentage to him, please, though.
Well, actually, the present situation gives the possibility to take a path where you are guided by a bigger passion and a bigger value, because there is something very bad going on. So if you find a way that at the present, there's something that can motivate you because you see that you're doing something good, you will find yourself in this kind of strange situation like the one I am, that everyone is following without the need of asking, just because you are on a mission.
So something is going to change at a systemic level, you believe?
Yeah. I think we will have, after this pandemic, we will have much better leaders in the world, because we will count the death and we will say, well, you know that, what happened there, what happened there. People, I mean, I may not see the stupidity in myself, but I see the stupidity in others. And this is a law that's for everybody. So everybody see if they have a stupid leader that is bringing them to a bad situation. And those kind of bad leadership, I think, will be swept away.
Well, Franco, thank you so much indeed for your time. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I can really attest that Franco is working 24/7 at the moment, because it's been very difficult to, I mean, he's been answering emails at 3 minutes to midnight. So that's when he reads his emails. So thank you so much indeed for taking the time to be with us for an hour. It's been fascinating, very interesting. And it's great to know that there are people like you that are coming up with solutions and actions in these difficult times. So on behalf of everyone watching, on behalf of MIB Lens and also, of course, of the school, thank you so much indeed, Franco, for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Grazie, Franco.
Ciao, Franco.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you also very much for the as always, the back office. So Igor Škurek, Diego Vendromini, and Valentina Savino. And we hope to see you very soon with another installment of MIB Lens. Thank you, Franco. Good night, everybody.
Grazie.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Okay.
Ciao, grazie.
Ciao, grazie a voi. Com'è andata? Tutto bene?
Perfetto, grazie. Molto interessante.
È andata benissimo, benissimo, Franco.
Grazie.
Bene. Ok.
Poteva andare diversamente, dai.
Come va da voi? Come va?
Ah.
Bravo,
la scuola è chiusa, giusto? La scuola è chiusa, giusto?
Ciao Franco, in realtà la scuola è aperta,
Ciao.
nel senso
Sì.
che è chiusa per gli studenti, per noi del team è aperta,
Ok.
quindi volendo possiamo andare a lavorare lì, però per lo più lavoriamo in smart working.
Certo,
Quindi dovremmo rientrare il 4 teoricamente e forse lo faremo in modo scaglionato, per cui dandoci magari un po' di turni, un po' in presenza, un po' in smart working.
Ma insieme agli studenti?
No, per gli studenti
ok.
ancora no, non se
Ok.
ne parla, temo ormai, anche perché oramai stanno terminando le ultime lezioni che avevano, più o meno tutte online, e quindi a maggio avrebbero comunque finito le lezioni, no? Che
Ok.
è in aula ora. Ma tra maggio e inizio giugno, quindi oramai è tardi, le finiranno online.
State attenti, perché queste procedure che vengono messe fuori dall'INA e dal governo vanno veramente, diciamo, ragionate con tanto buon senso, consapevoli che chiaramente si tratta di ridurre il rischio e ogni azione riduce il rischio, ma a volte magari ci si dimentica di alcune cose oppure ci si lascia andare, perché dopo un po' è facile lasciarsi andare.
Certo.
Ma io posso parlare dal punto di vista dell'MBA, per esempio, noi abbiamo deciso di fare tutto online fino in fondo, e se siamo in grado di fare la graduation ceremony in presenza è fantastico, se no anche questo deve essere online. Ahimè è così. La cosa importante è che dobbiamo anche essere in grado di offrire questo in linea con la qualità dell'accreditamento, perché ovviamente il diploma deve essere accreditato AMBA, altrimenti i nostri assolutamente non sono contenti. E questa è anche un'altra bella sfida.
Vabbè, ce l'hanno poi tutti. Questo problema ce l'hanno poi tutti. Non è... Io sono molto scettico sulla riapertura. Sono molto scettico sulla riapertura.
Avresti
però...
aspettato ancora, Franco?
Ma allora, è chiaro che è un annuncio. Come dicevo all'inizio, io in Cina gli annunci li ho vissuti per 2 mesi. Apriamo la settimana prossima, apriamo la settimana prossima e non aprivano mai, perché non lo sapevano neanche loro. E loro hanno riaperto quando praticamente il virus non c'era più. quindi hanno riaperto, prima hanno tolto il problema, perché se tu apri, cavoli, 8 ore in un ambiente, lascia pure che hai le finestre aperte, lascia pure che tutte le persone imparanoiate quando vanno al bagno, disinfettano il bagno, ogni volta che tocca una maniglia, nessuno tocca la tastiera di un altro. Ma è veramente possibile? Giorno dopo giorno, giorno dopo giorno, dopo giorno?
Siamo abituati anche.
C'è un asintomatico che infetta un altro, quello va a casa, infetta tutta la famiglia, perché tanti cluster di infezioni sono familiari. Tu vai a casa, sai tuo padre, tua madre, tuo nonno, vedi perché le famiglie vivono così in Italia, molte, poi chiaramente, non tutte, ma molte vivono così. E quindi è dura, cioè, non è complicato, molto complicato. Necessario, sì, però d'altra parte ormai ci siamo dentro, nel senso non è che il nostro metodo non potrà mai essere quello cinese. I cinesi hanno chiuso tutto, avevi la tua app che ti consentiva una volta a settimana di andare a fare la spesa, se potevi essere di quelli che non potevano, te la portavano, e ognuno era controllato a livello di singolo condominio, e quindi loro hanno deciso di eliminare il problema quasi alla radice e poi di aprire. Noi invece apriamo con 500 morti al giorno. Cioè, se ne parla, poi magari cambieranno idea 200 volte come hanno fatto in Cina, ma in Cina, quando hanno avuto il massimo dei morti dichiarati, ma i reali erano il 50% in più, come anche in Italia, avevano 150 morti al giorno, su 1,5 miliardi di popolazione. Noi ne abbiamo attualmente reali probabilmente 700 al giorno oggi, e non è una bella situazione, purtroppo.
Sì, sì. Sì, sì.
Franco, scusa che chiedo, giusto, leggevo un po' mi senti?
Sì, sì.
Sulla Germania, ma perché noi non riusciamo, che riapriranno le scuole il 4 di maggio e dicono
Sono
praticamente,
annunci.
c'è qua che dicono testing and tracing program, the infected are isolated in early age, e da adesso in poi faranno 4,5 milioni di test alla settimana, finché testeranno tutti in un mese. Noi perché non possiamo fare sta cosa?
Allora, intanto, secondo me, è sbagliato confrontare sempre con gli annunci, ma bisogna confrontare con le cose che succedono. Quindi, la Germania dice che aprirà il 4 maggio, il 4 maggio se avranno aperto, ne parleremo
Le
e
scuole,
vedremo.
le aziende aprono già settimana prossima.
E vedremo, ok, dicono che apriranno, vediamo se apriranno, dopo 2 settimane cosa succederà. La Germania comunque ha 300-400 morti al giorno. Cioè, se 300-400 morti al giorno per noi è accettabile, moralmente, eticamente accettabile, si può fare. Nel senso, magari è un 700 morti al giorno, vuol dire che, cioè, tu devi scegliere, secondo me, se fare un modello cinese che è elimino il problema e poi il problema sanitario e poi mi occupo del problema economico, o un altro modello che è convivo con il virus, quindi vuol dire che prima o poi mio padre morirà, prima o poi mia madre morirà, faccio degli esempi che si applicano ad ognuno di noi, quando questo succederà nell'ambito di 6-7 mesi, perché inevitabilmente se si apre questa cosa succederà. Quindi se noi vogliamo, se l'Italia vuole prendere questa decisione qua, non l'ha ancora presa perché ha fatto gli annunci, però deve essere consapevole che è una decisione tra eliminare il problema e spalmarlo, che vuol dire che dal punto di vista sanitario lo gestisci, perché non hai più 5.000 persone in terapia intensiva, però le persone muoiono.
We still have, how many? We still have 20 odd people online. So the Franco Leoni extra hours director's cut continues, but in Italian, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can understand Italian, because otherwise you just see the animation on the faces of the speakers.
I thought it was only about us. Okay.
Well, no.
Good.
The recording goes on.
Okay.
At this point, ladies and gentlemen, if it's okay, I think we're probably going to close off the transmission, if that's okay.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Bye to everybody. I go back to work.
Thank you. Take care, Franco.
Grazie a tutti. Bye bye.
Ciao,
Thanks,
ciao.
team. Ciao Franco.
Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao.